Hey guys, Saiyan coming at you today with another tips video. The general topic of today is how to win more gunfights. There's going to be some sort of subtopics though that we're going to sort of go into theater and go over, such as strafing, primarily crouch strafing, which I get asked about a lot. How to use the map around you, peeking and whatnot. Just kind of understanding the terrain, pushing advantage and disadvantage, sort of how to act in those fights and those very quick decisions you have to make, and a whole lot more. So let's just jump right on into it. Alright guys, we're hopping into this first video. Just as a warning, I am kind of doing a head-to-head analysis just because it gives me more examples of 1v1s, things I can pick out of my individual decisions and things that work out, what didn't work out. Also, I'm going to be fast forwarding and pausing and rewinding a little bit here and there to get multiple point of views, or just because maybe I missed something and there's just so much to go over in a single play. So just kind of flip-flop a little bit here and there between the timelines. So let's get right into it. Alright, so just at the beginning of this match, I'm almost always going for the sniper. Some people tend to not go here, I guess, but pick it up, and I expect him maybe to be around this corner, and he happens to be. So snipe him. One very, very big deal about Halo in particular, and especially Halo 5 with how fast you can move, is once you have a very big difference in advantage, such as right here, I just sniped him in the body with that sniper, and you'll notice he has no shields. And he's only shot me one time. There's no way he's just going to sit still and just keep crouch strafing right there to try and fight me, because he needs to try and get away and live. There's no way he's going to kill me. So he does exactly that. He tries to shoot me a couple times successfully and then thrust away and then tosses a nade. And I think no matter what, really, unless he played it perfect, which sometimes it's very difficult to, he's not going to kill me here. And so I end up just jump thrusting right on in. And he's somewhat expecting it, of course, because he tossed the nade, but I'm trying to get in before that nade or his shots can even kill me, which I successfully do. I'm very weak, I'm almost dead, but those are the sort of situations you have to push when you have such a big advantage. In other playlists, it's a little difficult sometimes, especially if you're very linear and you're just running around a corner, because people may ninja you, or they might just use a power weapon to one-tap you with whatever it might be. However, let me just kind of rewind, because especially in this head-to-head playlist, there is no radar. I went a little too far. There is no radar, and he has no power weapon. He just has a grenade, and he has a pistol. And I am at such an advantage here that I can risk taking some shots because I'm not the one about to die. I almost ended up dying. However, I had enough health and shields to kind of keep me going. All right, so off this next life that I have, we're both just kind of playing hide and seek here, and he happens to get around this corner, and I miss my shot. And he has the height advantage here, and he gets a couple shots, a few shots actually, ahead of me. So he's already shot me 3 times. I've shot him twice. And you'll notice that I'm mixing up with my movement a lot. He's hitting me a lot. However, it's good to at least still throw out those options, because it makes it harder for them to sort of register what his next move is, or what my next move is in this fight right here. And he doesn't really expect me to walk all the way to the right, and then he misses, and then he throws out a thrust. He throws out a thrust because now I just did something that he wasn't expecting, because I was throwing out a very small crouch strafe and very little movement to sort of, or in that fight. And he really didn't expect the just plain walk to the right, and that throws him off. And then I wait for him to thrust. Let me just go back here. I'm having to rewind a few times, but he thrusts first, you'll notice. We're trading shots, and I'm one shot first. However, I hit him with that. I hit him with the mix-up. I don't do my simple strafe where I am just barely moving. I end up walking all the way to the right. He misses because that mixes up. And then he thrusts first. Thrusting first is probably one of the worst things you probably can do. Sometimes you can mix up, especially if you have a good enough shot, you can use it sometimes. But when you're in this close of a fight, it's very, very risky for this point exactly, because I wait for him to thrust, I hit him with the shot, and then just as a sort of safety net, I thrust. I end up cleaning him up, and now on to the next one. So I see him run by. I got a couple shots into him, and now I couldn't really convert off of that. So now we're both at full shields, and we're just looking around for each other. So now I kind of went from a low point to a high point and got the advantage on him because I didn't really know where he was going to be. He was at a better position, but he kind of gave that up, which is a very big deal. He was weak, which it's understandable to go low, but he really needed to take full advantage of getting up top much faster, which I ended up doing much sooner than he did, and now I'm at full shields. I shot him twice, and he ends up challenging, which is fine. He's in that position right now where he should have been, or he needs a challenge, or he's dying outright. So I'm just pushing my advantage. He thrusts first again, and then I thrust to close out that fight right there. All right, let's keep going. He starts back up right here. He goes back up that staircase. That's one thing that I mentioned before. You need to try and pick up on people's habits, especially like just the general player. A lot of people, whether it's like Diamond or Onyx, where you want to classify them or not, a lot of people just tend to go to that same spot right there. And he just so happened to do that, and he was punished for it. I got him one shot, and he only got one shot into me. I didn't chuck an nade to the right, which I believe I should have, but he's right there. So I'm just trying to push him before he gets his shields back. But he's getting him back right now. So I kind of lost him. I'm still looking around because I didn't want to drop down initially because that's the first thing you should not do is chase somebody, especially if you don't know where they are. We have to go back into it a little bit. All right, now we're back to it. So I get him weak. I'm not going to make some rash decision. Oh, that's why I didn't have any nades there. I'm not going to make some rash decision to just instantly thrust slide. I didn't have a thrust, but to just go sprinting straight on in and drop down below him, maybe, and try and clean him up instantly. Because it's very easy for him to just peek around this corner and then go behind it like he just did there, and then for me to now be down below in this very bad position, which I didn't do. So I took my time, and I thought maybe he'll just poke. And he didn't really, so I'm just looking around. He ends up making a good decision, dropping down, and I couldn't really hear him at the time. I just hear footsteps all over, so I'm just looking around. I'm looking around, and I finally see him and clean him up. He's one shot now, though, and I don't have any nades, and I'm still weak, so I'm taking my time, and I'm just kind of looking around. I hear him, so peek around the corner, get him weak again. We're still just playing Ring Around the Rosie. We're just walking around through hallways constantly. We get up top, take this fight, and still can't pull it out. Things are just getting way blown out here. We're just taking so long to kill each other. We can't do anything. So moving forward. All right. Let's see exactly. So this is something I want to point out at least. You'll notice I got the sniper, and I used thrust to get up here. Just I want to be in the best position possible, and I know he's probably over there, which I expected. So I'm now looking at where I expect him to be. And I have a sniper, so I'm in the best possible spot on the map right now, I would say, arguably. I'm going to poke here with the sniper, but I'm going to shoot once and then try and back up a little bit. You'll notice I miss those snipes. It's fine. I'm going to miss. You're going to miss. We're all going to miss. So what you'll notice as well, though, this is as well as a mix-up, can be me poking one more time, which I do. He didn't expect, because who really pokes out when you're one shot? But I have a sniper. I have a sniper, and I'm on a corner. Unless he was expecting it, which most people don't. It's very, it seems like a dumb play. It really kind of is, because I'm one shot. However, I have a sniper. I want to try and hit that shot and catch you off guard, which I don't, and then I hit him one more time. This time I'm like, all right, I'm backing up. I'm going to try and just shoot, because now he's thrusting out, and I do hit him. So he's one shot now, so I'm moving quick. I'm trying to get up top, which I do, and I hear him. But look at that. He's in a good spot. So let's just rewind real quick, because I want to spotlight his movement here. All right, went a little too far ahead. I body him, at least. But he did what I said earlier. He didn't just chase me down as hard as he could. He gets his shields back, and he waits up top. And notice that he catches me off guard. He's in the best spot possible, and he kills me without even breaking his shields. So that's how important being in the right position and making the right decision really can lead to those easy, very easy kills. Because, I mean, my decision-making to clamber up that rock really isn't that bad. It's just I'm trying to get around. I thought maybe he's trying to chase me. He's one shot. I'm going to try and get up top. So I go up here. That's fine. I can't really predict that he's going to be right above me, but but he made a good decision. So moving on forward, spawn over here on this side. I'm looking around. Usually people are standing up there. And now I'm on top of the map. I'm just trying to look around. Maybe he went for the power up. Maybe he's just chilling down here. I'm looking around, but I'm not dropping down, and I'm not just going to try and sprint around constantly at the bottom of the map. However, there's 10 seconds left, and I still have a kill lead, so I'm just going to push. I hear him. Let me do this real quick so you can actually see from my position what I hear. So I'm sprinting around. Notice I hear footsteps above me, so I'm already turned around, primed and ready to hit some shots. There's only a couple seconds left. I get him one shot. I still have my shields. I'm going to instantly soar out and clean him up. Restart. So a good example right here in this clip is showing off the sort of strafe that I have and the map awareness that I have of what I can use in the middle of my fight. So if you'll notice right here, I have the map, the radar power up on this map, so I know exactly where he is, and I'm pushing around that corner, and he might know where I am, which he does. He hears me, but I get that first shot in, catch him off guard, and now you'll notice from his POV, I'm hitting some shots, and I'm crouching, and I'm also using that rock right there. And I crouch completely behind it, and then pop out right after. So using the map in the middle of your fights, whether it's corner peeking or using like head glitches in a way, such as this one where I completely cover myself and I can still peek around, is a very big deal, and it allows me to just clean him up instantly. And he's only shot me twice in that entire fight, and I get a very easy picking. And as well, right here, you'll notice he's kind of down low. I hear him. You'll see that I'm doing a little bit of a shorter strafe, and I'm crouch strafing, and he almost panics a little bit just seeing like I'm throwing out a lot of movement. And once you're down in the fight and he wants to secure it, he's thrusting very, very early. He's still hitting my shot, or hitting his shots, but I'm also hitting mine, and now he's going to try and secure with the melee. And I know that, so I'm hitting my shots, he thrusts, he's wasted his thrust now very, very early, and he's trying to, I know he's trying to go for melee. That's another thing as well. If you know somebody is trying to go for a melee in these fights, just keep backing up. That's exactly what I do here. I'm just jumping so that he can't get an easy pick on me, and I use my thrust, and he whiffs a melee, kill him. And it's very easy cleanups like that if you know how the other player is thinking. Obviously, I can't predict that all the time. It's really hard to, but you'll just kind of almost see it in a person's eyes. Like if they're just holding forward at you and you're living a little bit longer, they're not perfecting you, and they're just walking forward at you almost in a straight line. That means they're probably trying to go in for a quick melee because that seems like the simplest solution. But you can very easily catch people off guard when you know this about them. So I'm just moving around. I see him thrust forward. I know he's trying to go for that melee. Jump up so he can't even hit a shot. Thrust backwards so I get the most distance. Win the round off of that. So this is just another good example to show for using advantage properly. So I'm in the height advantage. I have the radar on. I know he's right there. I get a couple shots into him, and he shoots me once. I don't push him because it's kind of risky. I'm kind of far away. If I even thrust at him, he might have thrown a grenade. He actually ended up doing that, I believe, but I didn't push him, so it didn't matter anyway. I grabbed the sniper, and now I'm above him. I see him on my radar still, and so I jump way above him, and he doesn't even see me while I'm approaching, and I get free shots. Alright, I don't get a free shot. I try and snipe him, and we end up trading shots. But it's harder for you, or harder as a player, to look completely vertical and then try and bring it down and still hit your shots and then react accordingly instead of me just looking completely down on somebody. That's why height advantage is such a big, big deal in Halo. So always try and use those opportunities such as this when, even though I have an advantage, it's a very minor one, so it's not even worth jump thrusting right at him. I try and get the best advantage, which is a one-shot kill to the head sniper, and then I try and jump above him because I know exactly where he's coming in at, and I miss my shot. But that doesn't matter. I'm still in a very good position, and then he misses his shots off my crouch strafe, the little strafe that I have going, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like from his perspective. He hits a couple shots, but I'm crouching and I'm moving a little bit weirdly. You'll notice I'm not only going left to right in that situation. I'm actually kind of holding to the left a little bit, and that's just in the circumstance that I had an advantage and I expect him to sort of back down towards cover like you should, and he tries to back down to the left, and I'm trying to get that corner peek going. So I keep holding to the left, and I'm moving a little bit to the right, but not fully. I'm not doing a full strafe that you see a lot of people do. However, I'm still holding the left. That throws him off, and then I clean him up. And I didn't even crouch that time, actually, so that wasn't even crouch strafe. Sometimes you don't have to crouch strafe. This is the one thing I will say. You do not need to always crouch strafe. You don't always need to do one thing, or one thing does not always work. I just say crouch strafing is very effective. This is not the greatest shot. So one very big thing about just the meta and competitive Halo is there is a meta, and that is like typically the least resistance. That is the like easiest results for the least amount of work. However, if you always do that, then it becomes predictable, and that sort of change of the meta is what makes you a better player and gets you those wins and wins more gunfights such as this, where you don't do the exact same thing. I'm known for my crouch strafe. I'm not just crouch strafing right there. I'm not even just strafing left to right. I strafe a little bit and then keep moving to the left in this specific circumstance. But all I'm saying is be sure to change up your sort of be sure to change up your approaches, what you do, just how you approach a situation. Don't always think, okay, I got a shot or 2 shots in this guy. Saiyan said to always push this guy because I'm the one with the advantage here, so I need to push. Because obviously you know what you're doing and you've seen examples of what I'm doing, but it's really hard to say what, say, Sensation was thinking right here. Maybe he chucks an A, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he even challenged me instead of walking back like he did right here off the bat. Maybe he just decides to thrust back out and challenge me, which that would have worked because I turned completely around, and he could have even poked. So it's really hard to say on a player-to-player basis what somebody is thinking. However, you need to mix up. You need to be different. You can't always do the exact same thing every time. And I just wanted to put that out there and make that very clear, because that is one of the biggest sort of most important, let's just put it that way, most important tips at a high level of play. Generally, I would say as a lower division sort of player, you probably can get away with just doing the typical thing. However, when you're doing 1v1s like this and it's only down to you or the other person, or you're playing HCS at an Onyx or champion level, you're going to be playing smarter people who know the game very well, know the mechanics very well, and they're going to use it to the fullest capacity. So you need to be different, and you can't be only strafing left to right, only using crouch strafe, not even strafing at all, or whatever mix-up you think you do. If you do the same mix-up every single time, it is no longer a mix-up. It becomes very predictable. Right here. So on this kill right here, I hear Sensation below me or above me. I figure he's not above me. I hear him. I drop down. I'm just taking a shot in the dark right here. He didn't know where I was at all, but I had a pretty good idea of where he was. So I drop down, and I get a few shots into him after I jump out. But he's chucking some nades. So let me just take a moment real quick. Do not be this player. I'm going to kind of call out Sensation a little bit here. Don't be this player where you chuck multiple nades back to back. Unless you know for a fact where someone is, it is not a good idea ever. So see that? He chucks the nade. That's a perfectly fine nade to throw. It's a just precautionary nade. Don't throw the second one, especially against top players like me. I'm probably going to be challenging you and shooting you, and that gives me a very easy advantage. I went a little bit too far ahead. I should have not been fast forwarding, but you notice he tosses the second nade, and look at that. I have 2 shots into him before he's even done anything. And now 3 shots into him. Nothing's happened. And now I broke his shield. He shoots me for the very first time. And now I just kind of throw out the movement a little bit. Left, right, strafe. I didn't really need to do much to clean him up. Especially in kills like that. Like, he got 3 shots into me. That's still good for what he did. Just think about if he didn't throw that second nade. I got him 1 shot for throwing that second nade. I punished him very hard for that. So be sure not to throw that second nade, especially if somebody isn't like 1-shot running away. That's the only time you should ever be chucking multiple nades, I would say, or if they're cross-map nades or something of that. If you don't know where somebody is and you think they're close to you, don't chuck multiple nades like that. But you notice I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't even thrust again, or did I? I think that entire fight I didn't have my thrust because I thrusted forward because I wanted to push that advantage real quick. I saw he's throwing a grenade, so I think, okay, I'm just gonna thrust forward past that second nade he threw, and now I'm not just gonna. That's another thing right here in the middle of this fight. I'm not using my right stick that much, just as like a quick caveat. Maybe he's thrown out some crazy strafe if he was a top player, but I'm just making sure that I'm getting closer and closer to not killing him. So I'm just going to try and do the simplest solution, just strafe a little bit and not move my right stick that much, because the worst thing in the world is using your right stick too much and missing out on that easy kill you should have had. So that is a very good example of just cleaning up the kills that you're meant to get, because really what it comes down to is just making this game as easy as possible for you. That's really what this video I'm trying to highlight. So I'm just trying to strafe a little bit, and I instantly get the quick headshot because he's not moving too much, so I'm not going to move too much. And all right, guys, that was the video. Just kind of going over really, mainly it was very much more of an advantage and positioning and decision making sort of video. I really did want to try and go over crouch strafing as much as I could. It's really hard to pinpoint those kind of things though, because I went into that tangent of talking about mixing up, because that is why I believe my strafe is very good, because I don't always do the same thing, and I want to make sure that you guys do the exact same thing. Don't think he crouch strafes, so I'm going to crouch strafe this particular way. I don't do it in a particular way every single time, nor should anybody ever if they're trying to become a better player. You have to do different things, or just make sure you're not doing always the same thing. That's what I really was trying to drive home. I really hope these help you guys out. Sorry it's a little bit longer of a video, but I had a lot of information I wanted to get to you guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you know when these videos are live. I'm enjoying the content grind, and I'm going to keep pumping these out. That's it, guys. Have a good one.